Hey, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Vince McSham with you here, and we're going to talk about the new N64 craze that's kind of going on right now because of a game called the WWF Legends Challenge 64. Now, there are a whole bunch of other ones out there with these mods that I've never taken any look at until I saw this one. But as you guys know, if you're watching this channel, I'm all of a sudden addicted to all of them. I actually picked up a couple of other ones last night, which I've had trouble installing. I'll work on that later. But I did locate one for Lucha Underground, and then there is yet another one that has a massive library of wrestlers. And I'm going to try and see if we can't figure out how to get that one going on. And once I get that up, I'll show it to you. But in the meantime, I hope you guys are enjoying some of this stuff. And I know a lot of people have had trouble setting them up. We're trying to do everything as a community that we can to help it along. Some people have been able to use the last video that I put up with Jay Wylie, and that seems to have helped some people, but not necessarily everybody. So again, we're going to keep on trying to figure out what each person's challenge is and see what we can do to make it all work out well. That all said, you know, I hate to do these things by myself. I get so lonely. So I thought I'd bring in some friends. Say hello to Dre41. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Good to be on. Appreciate you having me back on. I think the last time we was playing that the game in regards to like the magazines, the old wrestling magazines.
That's right. That's right. We still need to do the very last competition, the Battle Bowl. We haven't gotten around to that. That's all on me. I just got caught up with so many other things and getting everyone's schedule. You have to have at least like 5 or 6 guys to make that work, and everyone's schedule's so whacked out. So it's just been a hard time getting that to happen. But I do want to do that last episode. So we'll see what we can do to connect all the dots. Quick shout out to everybody in the chat right now. We got Primetime out there, Corey Andrews out there. I saw somebody else's name out there, but now I don't see it. So but for those of you that are chatting, those of you who aren't chatting, you hear. That's what I'm talking about. Primetime says, "What's up, Dre?"
Yo, what's going on, Primetime?
Oh, wrestling. Yeah, I knew I saw somebody. That's your buddy, Wrestling Purist from the game show.
Oh, okay.
There you go. What's up, man? Oh, so anyway, Dre, as I mentioned in the past, helped me get Legends Challenge 64 up and running, because without you, I would not have.
It's a mission.
It is, and you do have to have a certain IQ when it comes to computers in order to make it happen. I used to have a very good IQ with computers, but those days are gone, as I have been brutally alerted to. So I am incredibly thankful for people like you that know their way around, and that's the game that for me started it all off. Now I'm just like grabbing these things everywhere I can.
There's a lot of them.
I'm learning.
Yeah, they out there for years now, more than 15 years.
Yeah, I'm seeing some of these things were put up a long while back. The one that I just got recently, was it the I want to say Aki Evolution.
Okay. Yep.
Familiar?
I've seen that one. Yep.
Okay, I'll say this. It is the friendliest one of the bunch. I got that thing, downloaded it, and ran it all in 7 minutes. So if I can do it, I'm telling you, it's computer for dummies. If I can do it, anybody can.
What about WCW Feel the Bang? That one's easy too.
It wasn't easy for me, but it was easy for my buddy Jay Wylie, who has helped me out with several of these other ones. I always run into one hiccup or another, and that's what I tell everybody with these games. They each have their unique stumbling blocks that you'll have to hurdle, with the exception of Aki Evolution. That just for me was flawless.
Now, I never played that one. I've seen it on YouTube. Is it an all-in-one when you download it?
He's funny. He's talking to me like I have a clue what that shit means.
Okay, so
remember, I'm the idiot here.
The mod, the game, and the emulator all in one.
Here's an idea. Let me show it to you. Yeah, I'm the guy like my dad when I was 14 and he's working on the car. He's like, hand me the 3/16th. And I'd say, here, take a ball.
Oh man.
Okay, where'd it go now? Oh yeah, I guess it would help if I went here. There we go.
But yeah, those games, man, I would say like for me, like the best ones I would say are like the ones where they try to get a certain like time, like Feel the Bang, definitely with the WWF Challenge 64, a Legends Challenge 64. The Ring of Honor one is kind of mixed because it also has like TNA. I I kind of like that one, but it's just some of the rings don't work. Some of the textures on the rings are like it's cut into the four, but it's so many out there. Even the Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 one, the Freem edition, that one's amazing too.
I haven't got to that far yet. Showdown is the other one that I got yesterday. I have had no luck with so far, but I've only messed with it for a little bit trying to. But it's got a ridiculous roster. I mean, damn, this thing is loaded to the hilt.
Oh, okay.
So with Evolution, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to ask you, like in regards to just the mods that you find for the N64 or the No Mercy. Well, what are you looking for exactly? Are you just trying to find all of them? Are you trying to find specific ones that you've seen? Like, well, what are you looking for?
Well, I was only looking for like a couple at first, but now it's like crack, you know. I need more. The only thing that I'm truly looking for is an AWA one, which I have yet to see.
No, wait a minute.
There has to be.
No, there is.
But I haven't even found video on YouTube. Nothing.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen something on YouTube.
I mean, if you look at the WCCW, they have an AW, the Super Clash Arena. They've got Jerry Lawler with the world title. How do you not have a freaking AWA game? A few of them have a Larry Zbyszko. Yeah, I haven't seen one.
That's wild. I could have swore I'd seen something. Maybe I'm just assuming. Maybe that was an NWA one. Because I remember NWA had like a green apron on their ring before too.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think if I've seen an NWA one. I've got the WCW one that has a kind of a crossover in the roster.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's one out there somewhere.
Has to be.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. It might take some digging, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, with the No Mercy mods, they're just like the Fire Pro game. I mean, you're going to find every roster that you can think of on that. I mean, I've swore up and down there's one for all WWF eras. There's one for all WCW. You find it ECW, TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, AAA. You can find it Lucha Underground, like you just said. There's one for any company you want to think of, I'm pretty sure.
Well, Showdown kind of does that. Showdown has like Kevin Owens, and then it's got Hulk Hogan and Rick Rude, and so they kind of do that. And it, from what I've seen in the trailers and or videos, is that each segment has a block that'll show you like Kevin Owens, and then behind him people from his era. So I guess you click. I haven't run it yet, but you click on that block, I presume, and then all of a sudden you have access to that roster or something to that effect. But it's massive. The roster is absolutely massive.
Yeah, and that's what I like. That's what I enjoy the most about any of the Aki games or the No Mercy mods, man. It's just the amount of wrestlers that you can have on there is amazing because they made it to where each like attire can be a completely separate wrestler. So that builds up the roster so much more than just the base roster. And that's such an amazing feature to have.
And with Aki Evolution, let's fire this up real quick. You were asking a question about it. So this is the main folder. This is what happens when I open it. I don't know if this is going to answer your question earlier or not. You were asking if it's an all-in-one or something to that effect?
Yeah. Because that's what Feel the Bang is. Feel the Bang is basically an all-in-one.
Okay. And here's where I always get screwy. Do I want to open the Project 64? Or do I want to go? I always want to go with the Aki Evolution in this case and open that. But I think it's usually the 64 that does the trick.
Yeah, you open that, and then within the files itself, it should have that game there as as an
And then
option.
from here, I can click on this, right?
Yep, you should be able to click on that.
And sometimes that works, and sometimes, a lot of times, I'll do that, and all of a sudden, it'll open up the WWF game.
It does what it wants.
Yeah, and it's like, I got a girlfriend that's already that way. Can something do what I want?
Oh man,
Oh, it's gonna want to control.
I hear that. But yeah, I enjoy those. I mean, my favorite Aki game, Point Blank Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. So the Freem edition is the one that I feel like is probably the best, only because of the implementation of MMA rules in the game, and you can have an actual MMA match. That's what I like.
With like a 6-sided ring?
No. It's gonna be in the square circle.
Oh, okay.
It's always gonna be in a wrestling ring. But they also have a point system. They also have automatic knockout, like moves where you can automatically knock out your opponent. They don't do running attacks. It's really like you ever play Virtual Pro Wrestling 2?
No, I've seen.
No?
I almost bought it, and then it just didn't look like my game.
I'm telling you, it's a game where you fight an MMA guy, you're gonna be in the battle because they fight differently. They programmed it completely different than the wrestlers, to where you do a strong grapple, you might do a takedown, do a full mount strike, turn it into probably an arm bar, or you could work the legs. It's just a submission system when you're using an MMA fighter is amazing. I tell people all the time, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, I feel like is the best Aki game ever.
Sounds good. I wish the mods worked for Retro Arc.
Retro Arc?
I was gonna say, if you don't know, I don't know.
Wish the mods worked for Retro Arc. Retro Arc. I'm trying to remember which one that is. Not so sure which one that is. But it looks like you got it up and running here.
Yeah, no, this one was fine. It's the other one that I haven't even. Well, I tried to and didn't have any luck, but I only gave it one shot. There's something, and I thought it was this game, but maybe, yeah, it is this one. So now look at all these options that you can't select. You can only get the white ones there. But like deathmatch, yeah. So what I'm wondering, I have a funny feeling the guy just made. I says Dre will know. I didn't know if this. Most all of this stuff is off of No Mercy, right? And then I've got the WCW Saturday Night was from WrestleMania 2000.
Yes.
I was thinking this might be one of those Japanese things, and I'm like, well, Dre would know.
No. The Aki, it might have some of the gameplay implemented, because the only difference between the Virtual Pro Wrestling games is just literally the MMA and the combo system. Because
my other thought is this guy just made this screen up to make it look like all these things would be in a perfect game.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm looking at this. I mean, we have a casket match in that new Legends game, so
yeah, it's a little hokey.
I mean, that's possible. Deathmatch, they're just retexturing weapons.
But
so that
ambulance,
which one? Oh, ambulance. I don't know.
Yeah, I the more I look at this thing, scaffold. Come on,
it might be buggy as hell. It might be.
I just got a feeling he made a backsplash of like a fantasy event, like a game that would have all this in a perfect world.
I don't want to bet against any modder. That's what I don't want to bet against them, because they can get creative. Like, even I don't know if you noticed this, but playing the Legends Challenge, do you know that you could face Kamala and his body paint wears off?
No, I didn't see that.
Yes. Yeah, his body paint wears off.
That is sick.
I did not realize that till I had a casket match with him. I was using the Undertaker, and I'm just like, oh, okay, the body paint is wearing off. Like, that's such small like details like that, man. That's why I put nothing past them on what they can and cannot do with these mods. They on another level.
Yeah, the only thing that's not on this list is having a CM Punk whack the crap out of Jack Perry match.
And using fake glass.
It's real glass. Cry me a river.
And then you get suspended.
Should be fired for that crap, man. Just cost us our biggest star and our money maker. You're out of here.
Oh boy, these young kids, you can't tell them nothing.
I'm telling you, that is the problem over there. That's why I can't watch it anymore. All right, well, that answered that question.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a Japanese title like I was thinking it might have been.
Yeah. It might have the All Japan, New Japan roster on there. I think it does. I think the Aki one does. There's a couple of them that do. I want to say the Frame one also has the Japanese roster and the WCW and WWF roster on there too. But yeah, like it's just the only thing that bugs me out is with some of the mods, they don't really fix all the textures. I know how difficult it is to make textures. Believe me, I know. But it's just like sometimes they don't program them right, so they don't load in correctly. And that's the one thing that kind of throws me off with some of the mods.
It's definitely a challenge. Now, I'll say one thing about the Evolution that I just had up there. I was actually able to mod the ring myself and put my logo on it.
Oh, you did? Well, I mean, yeah, you go into the files,
right?
Move out. Yeah.
It was the friendliest one of the bunch, though. I mean, it's like it was real easy to kind of get there. And I told folks I would do a separate video on the how-to on that, as simple as it is. The only thing you have to remember is do not change the name of the file at all.
Because,
yeah, it won't work. Are you familiar with Saturday Night Live, or what is it? Saturday Night, WCW Saturday Night?
Yes, I am aware. I haven't played that one. The Saturday Night one, I don't like the roster. To be completely honest, I feel like the rosters could have been a little bit better. But it's WCW Saturday Night. I mean,
if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't a big roster, no, but they had a lot of alternate attires.
Yeah, sometimes for me, I like the roster size more than the attires. Like sometimes picking attires just gets so overwhelming that you don't know which one to use. So for me, it's like you can give me 4 and I'm cool with it. I'll make it work. But when you sit there and you say, "Oh, like 10 or 20," and it's like, all right, I don't know what to pick. Like, I just want to wrestle, you know. Like, I just want to get in the ring, just want to wrestle, call it a night, you know.
And the more I'm thinking about it, it might not have been this one with the multiple attire. I think it was actually Evolution, because Evolution has an extraordinarily small roster, like 12. But I think out of those 12, man, there's a shit ton of alternative attires.
See, that's that. I can't roll with that. I can't. Not with an Aki game. Come on, you got to throw.
Oh shit! You all hear that?
What's that? Storm?
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I've been having a lot of bad luck in this state when it comes to weather lately.
You did. The last time when I was trying to help you install the game, my power went out because of a damn storm.
Well, it was that same night I was having my storm, because it took out my living room. I lost my TV, I lost my PlayStation, lost my DVR, lost my everything.
Possibly. Mine was out for a couple of hours. I was stressing.
Right, let me see if I can get. See, it's like right now, it's not cooperating with me.
It's not starting.
It might be me, because each one seems like it has a slightly different, like what I've done in the past, if I can recall here. Get over here.
Maybe you got to go into the file like the Legends game and start it that way, which that's a weird way too. I've never had to go into the files and start it with like the music file.
This is what it is. If I go to recent ROM, this should work. And I go to that C. Yeah, now it's working. I'm almost positive.
Okay.
But that's like the only way I can get it to work.
These mods are strange, man.
Yeah, each one's got its own bullshit to it.
If I swear, if somebody was able, just like how they do the beat 'em up games, is to create like a source code to create it, that would make life so much easier. Oh, see, I like this.
Now, the other thing about, I think it's, oh, shoot, which one is it? So many different titles in my head right now. One of them, if you click on anything else on your computer, it puts it in pause mode.
That's odd.
It pauses the game.
But that's actually a good thing, though.
Well, not when you're streaming.
That is true, yeah. And that is true. See, what I do, I can't. I don't even try to stream these games because it's
Oh, I
just too
do.
much effort. It takes way too much effort. Um, I
It's
just
easier
record it
than
and
hooking up the N64, though.
I got mine hooked up. Mine is just one cord away from live streaming. But
Well,
with any of these mods, that's what I don't even try to live stream. But no, that
hold on
game looks
one
like it's running
second.
good though. Looks smooth. Looks like all the textures loaded in.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. I'm not going to say it is. It's definitely not terrible.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find something here. Hide that. Thank you. I'm going
But
to try and bring Mr. Riley into this conversation. Jay, I'm sending you a link. Click on that if you would.
yeah, I definitely enjoy these, man, and it makes me want to go back and play Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, man. Which that game right there has so much replay value. Play Universe. Now, see,
What's
Lou,
that?
I might have to disagree with you on that. The Universe more than 2K22 is rough. It's rough. Ooh.
Is it any worse than the current?
I mean, honestly, 23 and 22 universe mode isn't good. I mean, it's not better than 19. That's the problem.
It is a problem. You got to go back 4 years to find a game they made that didn't suck.
Yeah. And another thing, like if you run like your own like eFed or do call shows, cutscenes, those are finished. Those are done. You can't use them anymore. It's like you just got to go with whatever universe gives you as far as options, which isn't much. So it's kind of difficult to have fun with it, make it stand out or be different.
It is
But
a royal pain in the ass right now.
yeah, but I did find a website where I'm able to use AI voices, and it makes life so much easier.
When you say AI voices, are they just random voices, or can you make them sound like somebody will recognize?
Yeah, you can make it sound like someone you recognize. All you got to do is get like 40 seconds of them talking, upload it, and they'll be able to match that voice. And they have generic voices from actual people across the world. So American, they got Spanish voices, Japanese, European, all types of voices that you can use with like expressions like happy, sad, angry, customer service type of voice. So it's a huge selection. I'll send you the link.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that. I've
And
seen
it's free.
some where you can do. As a matter of fact, I did one just to see if it would get any traction, and nobody even mentioned it. So I was like, screw it, it ain't worth the effort. But I actually did one where I had like a control center with a female journalist, and you were able to even kind of choose her face, but it was an actual person. And there was some little bit of hand motion as she was kind of doing her, and you would type in the text of what the message is, and she delivered the whole shebang, and it was pretty good. I'm not gonna say you couldn't tell it was an AI, but all things considered, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And I know there's this YouTube channel out there with this dude that does like Gorilla Monsoon voice and Jesse Ventura voice, and I think Gene Okerlund pops in and whatever. That pisses me off a little bit because I'm over here doing it the hard way.
Yeah, you gotta take it easy. I mean, when I ran across that on Twitter, it was just like, oh, this is different. I like this. Like, this is entertaining, even though it's 2 minutes, but very entertaining.
Yeah, there was something to it, I got to admit. But then I'm sitting over there going, well, geez, anybody can do that. All you got to do is type in the text, and then the machine's going to do the rest. As I'm getting friggin' eliminated here by a friggin' machine.
Listen, you got to work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how I feel about that one, to be honest with you. But at the same point, it wouldn't be bad to have something where, like, for example, if I was running something with NXT or even SmackDown or Raw, and I wanted the females to have some sort of a feud going on, I can't do women's voices. So
you got to go with the AI, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, once I send you that link, you ain't gonna look back. You telling you're gonna say, man, I don't know, I was missing out. It's easy too. I mean, to use actual people voices, like let's say you're looking for like a Mean Gene Okerlund voice, whatever, then you got to pay for like a subscription to use it. But everything else is free. Like all the preset voices, everything else. So it's worth it, I think.
I would have to look into it at the very least. I can't totally discount it. Jay Wylie, my bad. I thought I hit send on that link. I just hit it now, so you can jump on here and join us. So Jay Wylie has been helping me with all these other games that I can't get up and running, and he's done some serious homework, by the way. And then we've even gone back and forth with the shared screen of him running his while I'm running mine. And then we just try to figure out. I was having trouble with WWF Challenge where Andre would crash a game. And then he tried it, and Andre was crashing his game. But then he went along, and we're going to bring him on right now, and he can kind of explain it. Jay Wylie joining us here. This is my entire IT team right here on screen, everybody.
The infamous Dre41. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Man, I've been following you since, man, I've been copying your cows, I think, since, I can't even remember, man.
I've been doing it for a long time. That's why I need to slow down.
Yeah, I know, man. I remember, man, it had to be like, 2K13, 14, something like that. You had everything you put out was just fire, man. Like you kept that game going for me.
Oh, thank you.
You just brought up a great point. With all these games that are coming out now, we saw AEW crash and burn. And I worry now about some of these other ones that we're still anticipating, obviously, and I'm hopeful for. But I also worry that what is the difference between an AEW? What is the difference between any of these other ones coming out, Fire Pro, and the 2K line that at the end of the day, you still go back to that because that's got the replayability. I know what it is for me. And that is that I can tell stories with it. Even this crappy one we got this year, at least in universe mode, you can say, okay, at the end of the match, so-and-so is going to run in and attack and blah, blah. You can do something.
Right.
But when you look at AEW, you can't do shit. The creation suite is god-awful.
It's nothing. I mean, we had better stuff, and here comes the pain.
And the gameplay ain't that good.
I mean, the only thing that kept it going for me is I have it modded, and I've thrown a bunch of mods on there, but it still gets stale because the game modes there's no like real season or anything to play with it. It's just exhibition matches, and you can only do that for so long, you know?
Yep. What do you think, Andre?
For me, I feel like just the current scope of wrestling games, let's say AEW, I had so much hope for because it was Ukes. Like, no one could tell me nothing.
Yeah.
When I found out Ukes was the one developing it, I was like, you can't tell me nothing. I've been playing Ukes games well over 20 years, and rarely have they disappointed, especially when they were in complete control of making New Japan games, which ended up being the SmackDown games. And it was just like, oh, they're gonna do it good. And it was just like, I get the game, the controls are weird. Like they're nothing like the N64 games at all. Nothing like those. And it just seems like they tried to mesh two things into one. Here's my thing. Aki games are not arcade. They made AEW arcade game based off of a simulation game we enjoyed when we were kids. It doesn't work like that. I think we just enjoyed the games from the past that really was enjoyable for us, even though they came out every year, like the 13s, the 14s, you know, the SVR 10, the 11, even 12. It's like those games right there. It was just like, it was a big community, a way larger community than I think what we have now. And just the community, they kept it alive. You know, you still got your game save, you can go back to it and remember all the great times you playing online, beating people, freezing people's console like we used to do back in the day. And I mean, it was just a fun time. It was really a fun time. And I still got all my saves, all of them. I got them on a flash drive. I got them on a hard drive. I still do an ECW universe mode for 2K14. I still got my whole save. You know,
I actually just got done playing 2K14. I have the Legends mod on my modded 360. You need to get that one, VM.
Yeah, yo, listen, having a modded 360 back in the day was a crapshoot for real. The only one I remember this like the back of my hand. The ones that were most difficult for Microsoft to find out that you had was the Philips Light on Drive. Those
Okay.
ones were the most difficult ones for them to find because I had like two consoles that were modded. I never did got modded games, but I just got them to get the games early because yeah. But oh man, those were good times.
I just seen that Legends mod and the roster. I mean, it is there's over 350 people on it of everybody, and that's the only reason I got it. I mean, entrances and they have Finkel doing call names that you wouldn't even have thought because they just patched in the coding and that somehow. I don't know how they did it. Somehow they did, but yeah, it's still fun to this day to play that one. One that I'm interested in, though, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you did see it, or I don't know if you talked about it already, is that Ultra Pro wrestling that's supposed to be coming out.
Yeah, so I was actually about to bring that up. Dre is working with the folks at WrestleCode. I am working with the guys at Ultra Pro.
Oh, okay.
So again, we have vested interest in these upcoming titles. I just don't want to see either of them do what AEW did. And that's why I am really hopeful. I had thrown an idea at Sam, the creator of UPW. If nothing else, give us a room with a green screen. We can make stuff out of that, or it would be even better for people that don't do video editing and stuff like that and might not be able to key out a green screen, is put it in as part of the game, like have a little set where you can go in the green screen and then there's an option of this background or that background. You could have like an NWA type, Saturday night interview set kind of thing, or a Piper's Pit-esque looking, obviously for copyright purposes, it couldn't be identical, but you get the idea. You could throw whatever back, and then you could have a quick attack in the back alley or whatever it is. But that simple thing would help to keep it going along. I know as of right now, I believe the talk is that there won't be an immediate creation sharing process. I don't don't quote me on that yet because I haven't talked to him in a few weeks. But I believe that you'll obviously have a creation suite, and it looks pretty good from what I'm seeing so far. But whether or not we'll be able to share those creations across the platforms and all that I'm not so sure about. But that's a key as well, because you can always keep your roster fresh. And what he's got going for him with that game is there's no limit to how many, like the 200 or whatever, 100 that you get with WWE.
I would say for me, and I see the question by Primetime, is there any upcoming news? I always drop a little bit of news. Hopefully I never get myself in trouble. But I'm literally always working. I'm actually got to do some textures tonight. I can sit there and say that I finished like almost 30 wrestlers, like almost 30. And like there's so many that you guys haven't seen yet. But they also made an announcement that I guess the face of like the creation suite. So they're going to be implementing a lot of things that I feel like the community would like in the creation suite. That goes from possibilities, definitely a call mode. It can be a ring, arena, show, whatever the case is, just stuff that the community's been asking for, because that's a big thing. The one thing that the devs are very aware of is what the community wants. And this isn't a dev team who aren't into wrestling games. Like, the lead dev is into like wrestling, like for real. Like, this is a passion project. Like me and him, like face to face, like working out details on, the game and, what people can play, once it comes out, whether it's, early access, whenever that happens, because I'm not going to say when, and just the replayability, even in like early stages. It's all a process. And not only do I do the textures, I help with the videos that they put out. I help with the arenas, the rings, a lot of stuff. I mean, it's going over the creations, the in-game characters. Because I came in late, so for me they already had a team that does the modeling. So me, I'm just doing the textures to make everything quicker. Send me the tattoos, I'm gonna bang them out. Attires, I'm gonna bang them out. Multiple attires. RVDs is the worst. It's taking forever, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's such a cool process to be entrusted by a company who believes in your abilities and trusts in your opinion to help with their game. Because I mean, it's a team. It's not just me, but I mean, for them to post that they believe in what I think that the community would like in a creation suite, such a cool feeling. Because I just went from creating wrestlers, like that's what people knew me for, was just creating wrestlers, and that's it. So now just I guess the face of what you can expect in the creation suite, which is cool. It's really cool. It's surreal too, like all the wrestlers.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations on that, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah,
it's a smart move on their part, because he's really good at what he does, and you want a game that's going to come out looking really good, because that's the end of the day. I don't care how good a game plays. If it looks like crap, that's what people are going to get turned off by. By the same token, you could have the most polished looking game, and if it plays like 2K20, there's that. And don't nobody want to crawl under that bar.
No. Listen, 2K still owe me $120 for that game.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I always said we should have had a class action lawsuit on that game.
Don't say that too loud.
All right, let me ask you this, and you can end up probably saying I don't know. Is it safe to say that Wrestling Code will drop in 2024?
I'm not going to ICAP.
Not even going to give me a year? Not even a year? I wasn't going to ask for a month.
You can't do that. Don't do that to me. Don't do that.
All right. I won't push the point. All right. I have another question then. To my knowledge, every wrestler that we know of, they were mo-capped for their moves. Is that accurate? I thought the point was they were traveling the United States to actually mo-cap the actual wrestlers doing their own moves.
The bigger name guys, yes, and even like the indie guys, if we can get them. But it's going to be a situation where it's going to be, there's going to be some indie talent who's just going to do like other people's moves.
Okay, that was my question.
And I think that works, because like with Steiner, like, come on, he's not doing.
And that's what I was wondering.
Steiner, like he's not doing that. Like even in the what is it? The video that they had for the Steiner character going up against Grimm, that wasn't Steiner doing the Steiner recliner. So I mean, you got to bring other people in. Some of them just aren't willing to throw on the mocap suit and try to do stuff that really their bodies just can't do anymore, and you like there's moves that no wrestling game has put for Steiner, like when he did the backflip fall away slam that he rarely did, like he used to do in WCW,
right? And
then he stopped doing that. Was early in his career.
That's correct. I remember that.
Like no one put that in the game, and who's gonna do it? Like there's a guy who's like super athletic. His nickname is the Neon Ninja. I forget what his Facade Fate. I think his name's like Facade or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I
That'd
can't
be a good name.
Yeah. He can bang out some moves. Like he can do some stuff for real.
There's a rumor going around about a Wrestling Society X game coming out after 20 years in the making. That can't be true.
Did it already come out?
I hadn't even heard.
You never heard of it?
I've heard of Wrestling Society X, but not that there was a game.
Yeah. I could have sworn it already came out. Am I bugging? I feel like it already came out. And it's not. It looks like the Lucha Libre game that was on like
Wrestle Del Heroes.
Yes, it looks like that.
Heroes Del Wrestling, something like that. Yeah, I've got that one.
It looks like that, but it plays like something else. It looks good, but it's just everything else is subpar.
And that's a good point too, because that game I enjoyed while I played it, and you go through the story mode, which doesn't take all that long. But after that, there's just no replay value.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping these next 2 games that you guys are working on. It's all about, like, you know, the only reason we even play 2K, I mean, let's be honest, I mean, it's stale in my opinion, but the creation suite is so good on it that if you get bored, you can just revamp your roster and play with somebody else. You know, so as long as the creation mode is great, and you know, I think, and I know you said you don't know if it's coming out at first, but community creation, so you can download people's stuff, you know, that's huge too, because you know, most people can't, like myself. I used to try to make them, but I just downloaded Dre's because he is much better. So
I got to admit, back in the day, I was making stuff every year, and it was always the 80s and 90s wrestlers. And the reason I could get away with that, I was okay with faces, but their attires are very simple: blue trunks, blue boots, knee pads. Boom, done. Now you got fucking Will Ospreay. Between tattoos with CM Punk, between Will Ospreay's tights, hell no.
Man, listen.
That's
I
Dre's
can tell
job.
you from experience, man, tattoos and attires suck, man.
I know.
Especially when they have too many. Like, and this is one character I can't wait for people to see. And he's already been announced, so it's not even a secret. Vampiro.
Yeah.
I went completely in on his tattoos. Nobody else in the community has the reference photos for his tattoos that I have. And once you guys see him in game, oh, y'all gonna go crazy. Like, it's just all the tattoo work I did. I mean, like, that's a call creator's dream to get these reference photos that's like up close pictures of like Leo Rush, Vampiro, Enzo, even though you can find those online anywhere. But it's just like all these wrestlers where you can get these up close HD pictures of their tattoos. It's like, oh, I wish I could make a call of them and upload them, but I can't. Like, oh man, but it's so cool to be able to have and know that eventually people will see it. So, but yeah, the tattoos and the tires that wrestlers get now, like I do a gear design for some wrestlers, and I try to keep it simple. For real, I always tell them, like, Wrecking Ball Legursky, I did his attires, his singles attires. So not the fixers, but just his singles attires. I do his tracks. I've done his. I've done a couple of indie guys. But yeah, man, it's definitely a process.
So you get these tattoo pictures, and then are you using those and like customize? Are you like deleting anything around it and then using that actual image?
No, all of them are hand drawn, 100% hand drawn. Yeah. So the thing I wanted to avoid was like a 2K kind of thing where they just take the pictures, and slap them on a wrestler. Which, I mean, it doesn't look bad for some of them, but the detail is missing. And I want it to look like you can read the tattoo. Like if there's words on there, you can clearly read it. That's what I wanted. So that's what I did. I hand drawn every single tattoo, every single one. And it took me some of them, depending on how many, it took me a week to draw all the tattoos. Yeah. All of them are hand drawn.
Are your I mean, I don't know what like Vampiro's particular tattoos, but let's say, like, for instance, I know CM Punk has, what's the G.I. Joe, I think, is the one, and Pepsi's the other one. Have you run across anything where it's kind of, you haven't been able to use it? Yeah.
Yeah. Enzo, because he has a Jordan tattoo. He also has a Biggie tattoo. So, and he also has the guy from The Sopranos, Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like those is just like, I want them to look exactly like the way they do, but it's like either you could fake it and like switch the face, which I hate that, or just don't put it on them. You know what I'm saying? Like find a way to cover it up. Like sometimes Enzo has a long sleeve on his left arm, so that could be a possibility just to make sure. Like, 'cause I just don't want it to look stupid. That's the biggest thing. So anything that's like, copywritten, trademarked, I try to modify it a little bit. Like Grim has a tattoo of the Transformers logo, so I modified the hell out of that so it doesn't look like a Transformers logo, but you can tell like, oh, it's something close to it.
Right.
What happened with the lawsuit? There was a lawsuit with the WWE and Randy Orton in particular with the tattoo artist.
Yeah, I think they just paid him off, honestly, because it's just like they copywritten the tattoos that they do for the wrestlers. And like I said, that's always like when they go to some little hole in the wall place to get tattoos, tattoo artists ain't gonna sit there and really like chase money off that. But when you go to like an established artist who's like, wait a minute, my stuff is on this person in a video game and they're making money like off of the designs I've done, I want a piece.
Because I've always bought my wrestling game based on the tattoo of the wrestler.
Oh god,
that's why I buy the game.
See, but for instance, if I'm sitting there designing stuff, I need my part. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that, yeah, you see the tattoos on Randy Orton, but the person who did it took them 20 plus years to get that skill up to be able to do it.
And they got paid for it.
Yes, but it's still their intellectual property.
No, because he probably brought the design to them and say, this is what I want.
Maybe. Because I've seen those tribal designs on other people too, so.
Right.
So, I mean,
the way I'm looking at this is the same way you're saying, okay, you go to this artist who spent all these years and this guy is not a hole-in-the-wall guy, fine. He also knows that's Randy fucking Orton, and when he got those tattoos, he was like the top of the line. He was the world champion. So it's going to be on TV. Don't act like, holy shit, I turned on the channel and look what I see.
Same thing.
I got tattoos, so if I all of a sudden get to Hollywood and they realize how great I am, I got to go pay my guy again?
No, I mean, if you're like a character in a video game and they're using your tattoos, I think that's different. I think that's what the issue is, because I mean, once again, it's trademark work.
But they're using your likeness. Now, again, I'm giving you rights to my I paid for this. It is me now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like getting right into court. Let's do this shit, man. I got to do my research on how that ended. I can't believe
I think they got paid off because they still are able to use it. So
right, but they needed to squash them like the cockroaches they are.
Damn, don't say that about artists.
No, it's not about artists. It's about people who were fairly compensated for their work who are now trying to squeeze somebody because they're a big corporation. Again, if Randy Orton's tattoos drove the sale of the game, yes, you have an argument to make.
It might have been when he was on the cover. Wasn't that 12 when that happened?
No, it was only a couple of years ago that the lawsuit went down.
Oh, it was years ago.
Not that many years ago.
It had to have been like 5-6 years. It had to have been around WWE.
I'm going to look this up right now.
It had to have been. While you do that, Primetime asks, the wrestling code gameplay is similar to THQ in WWE 13? No, I wouldn't say 13. I would say it's more like, and this isn't a spoiler because I'm sure that they stated this on Twitter. It's going to be like 11, 12, but it might. I'm not going to say that. I don't even want to say that. I was about to.
Did you almost say something?
Wild. I was about to say something wild, but it's not going to be like current wrestling games where you only got 4 weak grapples and 4 strong grapples. It's not going to be like that.
October of 22.
October of 20. No.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
No, we can't do that. No,
I know. BBC News. Randy Orton tattoo artist wins the case.
Wait a minute, in 22.
What the fuck? How do you lose? I tell you, the WWE should never step into a friggin' court of law ever. First, they get beat up by panda bears. Now they're getting beat this way.
Hold on.
How in the hell?
They probably didn't even invest any time in it. They just said, "Here's your money, go away."
No,
I
but
mean,
they lost. That means they
gave him
did
his bread,
invest.
keep pushing. That's what they did. They gave him his money, told him keep it pushing, leave us
yeah.
alone. Use it.
They're too big to go to court over a damn tattoo.
No, but they
They don't
did.
care.
They're going up against 2K.
They went to court and lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they sent some bum in. They
But why go to that length?
public
That's
defender.
pennies, though. They lost pennies. They don't care
Yeah.
about that.
A jury in the U.S. found that the artist was entitled to compensation and awarded to, are you ready? Oh, is that all? Never mind. They won $3,000.
Oh,
I thought I saw $1 million at first and I was going to lose my shit.
Pennies. They are good.
They gave her that and a Happy Meal.
That $3,000 was going that day.
Yeah, no shit. And by the way, the lady artist that was suing had to pay her attorney, and I'm going to guess $3,000 probably didn't cover that bill.
Yes.
Which is just as good as winning at the end of the day. So I take back my earlier statement about the WWE not going to court. If they want to, they can. They have a 50-50 chance.
Come on. For real.
Well, they still lost to the Panda Bear. Well, no, they won the steroid too. So that's 2 out of 3.
Yeah. But yeah, they don't need to get the WWF name back anyway, because it's pointless now. It's been too many years.
No, it has changed over and
to
over.
rebrand
I miss it.
Would be ridiculous. You know how like they spent so much money on this new bum ass logo, and everywhere they put the WWE the championships.
Yes,
all that stuff got to be changed. And then what's they gonna change it back to? The scratch logo, like the new era logo. What they gonna change it back to? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of
make a regular belt, and you don't have that problem anymore.
It's all about branding.
Yep.
But how come every other promotion has a championship belt? They have a winged eagle. They've got, something that looks like a championship belt. And the WWE is the only one that's got to have the WWE smack in the middle of this thing, hitting you in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Branding.
Yep.
I'm interested to see how this merger with UFC is going to come about if they start to kind of counteract with each other and I guess more crossovers with UFC and wrestling and things like that.
I don't think they're really gonna mess with each other too much. But here's the problem, right? And I feel like they spoke about making the companies bigger, which makes no sense because both companies are the biggest companies in their field. You think of MMA, you think of UFC. You think of wrestling, you think WWE. How much bigger can they get when they're the top of their class? It kind of doesn't make sense.
That's what I say. I mean, I can see Conor McGregor making a guest appearance on Raw. You know what I mean? Or he's a big name. People show up, and I just think what I'm kind of hoping for is a lot of the exclusive that we get from people who have gone from UFC back and forth. Maybe that's not a license issue on newer games that will come out, because I always like having Brock Lesnar on UFC games and things like that. So hopefully that's not an issue anymore.
That you bring up a good point with that, like potentially having like MMA
Ken Shamrock back on the UFC game, and
true. That is very. I didn't think of that. But here's the thing I'm worried about is them putting their game division all in one. That's what I'm worried about. I don't want EA Sports messing with no wrestling game. I don't. Like, as much as I complain about 2K, the only reason why I still mess with them is because they got the engine from Ukes. That's it. And without that, if they had to start from square one, I wouldn't even bother. With it, because
you'd have to, because the entertainment alone, when the eyes start floating into the fans and the teeth start going up their ass.
Listen, I still got my 360. I could fire it up. My PlayStation 2.
Yep.
Listen, I will be okay for real. But I would say just keep them separate. UFC, keep it to EA. even though I think Ukes did a better job with the MMA games, with the UFC games. Because in my opinion, Undisputed 3 is the best MMA game I've ever played. Until I played 5, I'm gonna say UFC Undisputed 3 is the best MMA game, point blank.
There's actually a mod I just found today. There's a whole thing on Discord. They bring new fighters, and there's a YouTube video. I'll send you a link to it. Showing this mod. They've got like all the new fighters on it now. They've redid the ESPN Plus on the cages and prime drink on the canvas, and I guess they took textures from UFC 2 or 3. I want to say they said. But yeah, they got Conor, Habib on that specific game, which is pretty cool. But I will definitely send you the link on there to check that out.
Man,
but you are right though. UFC 3 is still the GOAT. There's no doubt.
Yeah, like that one, man. Just them having pride in there.
And the ground game is so damn good, man. It's so fun. None of this hold the button one way and until I get, it's my turn, your turn. This took a little. This was skill,
Yo, for real. And in that game, they actually had wrestling. You could do like German suplexes, power bombs in there. Like, yes. I don't know how to pull off a German suplex in these new UFC games.
I play stand and bang, honestly. I don't even use the ground game.
Yep. Me too. Stand and bang all day.
Well, I think I've got 3 in my library and just never played it. I think it was a free game on the network or something like that.
Yeah, I got 4. I'm going to get 5. I'm kind of excited about it. The ground game looks a bit better. They're trying to make a big deal out of referee stoppage. Like I haven't seen that in 3.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not super excited, but
it looks okay. I mean, I'm sure that the graphics will be better due to the lighting of the new generation consoles. To me, gameplay still look the same, like striking wise. Ground game looked the same. You basically just incorporated you got rid of the mini game, and now submissions just kind of fall right in line with the same techniques you use for the ground game. I don't expect a whole lot from it, but I'm gonna get it too. I mean, I like UFC, so
yeah.
So Kevin is adjusting his earlier comment. The actual game is Pro Wrestling X. Any word on upcoming video game Ultra Violence?
Pro Wrestling X game. I know it's out already. I've seen it.
Something to do with I recall seeing something about a video game for ultra violent wrestling. I do recall seeing something about it a while back.
Yeah, it's on Steam right now, $5.
Boom, there you got it. Go get you some, Kevin.
It's not good though.
$5 today.
It looks good, but it plays like trash.
I would have bet that for $5.
I would agree.
All right, since you're both here, let's see what we can do. So this is Showdown 64, which I just downloaded last night. Had absolutely no luck with, but I only gave it one shot so far as getting it to work. So as I open it up here, walk me through.
I can't see a damn thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to zoom in this screen here. So if I go off camera,
let me see if I can enlarge this in any way. Well, how's that? Is that better?
It's a little better. So did you set up when you go into Project 64? I guess the first thing, let's see what's in your textures folder. If you have anything in there.
Nothing.
So you have nothing in your textures folder. So it's probably
the same problem we had with the other game.
Yeah.
Did you move the files over? When you unzipped it?
I unzipped it and I put it on my C drive. That's where we're at right now. That's all I've done.
Unzipped it and put it on your C drive. Then where's the files for the textures?
So go to plugins. They're probably in plugins, and then GFX. And then Fire's textures. They're probably in there. And yeah, you should have. Let me see. Arenas, interface, matches, roster. Yeah, there's all your fighters right there. So I think you probably just need to set up the config so it actually goes your texture in your configs. Make sure it's to that folder there.
Ooh.
Thank you. You said it. I'm thinking it.
Man, the way they have it set up is not great,
folks.
Like,
and I got two guys that know what the hell they're talking about. Okay.
yeah, like the way they have it set up to where the textures are, it's like that doesn't make sense.
So if you open up Project 64, the actual emulator there, we'll go. So let's see where your settings are at there.
Oops, hold on a minute. You see how it's opening? All right, never mind. Showdown 64. What do you want me to do? Options?
Yep, options and then settings.
Okay.
Directories. All right, so you have no paths. You have no paths set up, so there's your issue right there.
Hey Doc, I got this problem. I can't open my eyes.
None of your plugin, nothing. Wow, that's wild.
So for those of you who are having trouble loading this game, now you know why.
Create those paths.
So what? Plugin?
Yep, and then go to your Showdown folder. Select the plugin folder.
I'm starting to get better at this only from repetition.
I know we've done this a few times, man. I know you got this by now.
No, I don't have it by now, but it's at least familiar.
And now people will have a video to reference.
Exactly. What the hell is that? Showdown. There it goes. I forgot the name of the game.
And then just click that plugin folder. Hit OK. And same thing with your next two are the save path and the same in that folder there. It's generally the issue probably most common people have when they're trying to start it. They think they just download it and then hit play and the paths aren't correct. And it'd be nice if the emulators were set up and that, but so just that save folder in your
yep, right there. Okay.
What does that one say? I can't even see it.
It's going to be the
save. The next two are saves.
Okay. Yeah, it's not great on my screen.
I'm on my phone, so I'm able to zoom in. So.
Oh yeah, you lucky. Yeah, I'm on my PC. I can't.
The next one should be your screenshot folder.
Wherever you want to save that.
There's usually a folder in there that's yep, right there. And this is your big one here. So this is where you want to go into that plugin folder.
How do we get there again?
Your Showdown 64 folder. And plugins.
And then hard time seeing it.
GFX. And then select your higher texture folder there. And then press OK. And apply.
Okay.
And then X that out and then restart it. And let's see what you got now.
You should be good money now.
Just open it.
Yep.
Play game.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't like that.
Yeah, dude, remember every time I told you when it's doing that, go to File and then go to check ROM directory. I think for some reason the directories just either get confused with the other emulators or...
Choose the ROM directory. There we go.
And then just select that folder and select wherever the ROM you have it in there is.
So Showdown.
It's probably just sitting in there, so because I don't see a actual ROM folder. So just try selecting that real quick and.
Damn, that rumble's coming through again. I don't know if you hear it over the mic. Okay.
All right, so where the hell is your ROM at? Because I don't even see it. Maybe it's in that games folder. If you click on that one, because nothing showed up. So they got it in one of these damn folders in here.
Yeah, the way they have this set up is weird.
Try clicking on games.
Like I said, I got two of you guys here, otherwise forget it. So
select that folder, the games folder. So basically what you just did, but select game folder, and it should show up.
So I'm going back to...
Open back up Project 64.
Opening that. Hold on. Zoom that over there.
File. Choose ROM directory. Then games.
There you go. All right. I'll try opening that now.
Ooh, wait, something's happening.
We got a bingo. Oh, we got a bingo.
We got a bingo.
All right. So now the next thing, go to system. And then always go to cheats and just make sure that the cheats are selected on there. Even though they show gray, click them again so they turn black. And you can close that out. Should be good to go, honestly. You might have to do a restart because you did the cheats, but yeah, I played this one before actually this has been out a long time. I actually I had this on my phone a long time ago actually, and I had a little controller I'd play at work, and there's a ton of people on here though.
Man, I remember I had an old I actually had the first Galaxy Note. On there I had Sega all on that, man.
Yes.
Oh, that was so fun. I used to play the old school Madden on there.
So we got an error.
Address? Does that say address error?
Yep, address error.
Must be where one of the files are.
Let me just try something. Sometimes if I run it as administrator. Open ROM.
I mean, you can do it that way and just click on Showdown 64.
Nope, still got the error.
That's weird because it was just on.
I know, right? Now, some of those cheats were not even checked before. Should they not be checked?
I mean, hit system before you X that out and go to cheats and maybe let's like Dre said, the game's not going, so they got some it's just definitely weird.
Yeah, that is. It might have been with the cheats, possibly.
I'm thinking there's something in those cheats that's messing it up too.
Yeah.
If you hit open real quick and then like just try to go to cheats real quick before it crashes and see if we're able to get there under system.
Come on. Damn it. Almost. Try it again.
So when it loads up, you can hit pause emulation under system. And this way it shouldn't crash. It should kind of just sit there. So hopefully we can get back in there.
Just
I didn't see
pause it first.
Where's
see where that when the game is running, actually hit resume, see if it goes. I doubt it will, but it's right where that resume would be. So when you started
it, maybe resetting it.
Hold on, I'll try one more time here.
There you go. Now try to get into those cheats. There we go. All right.
So,
I can't really
which
see
one was actually checked.
Saying.
Only one was checked, and I thought it was optional, but I don't remember.
I mean, uncheck them all, honestly, because that says work in progress. So who the hell knows what that is?
Oh, yeah. Don't check. Yeah. Leave the work in progress one alone, I guess.
There was only one that was highlighted.
I would say probably Showdown 64 would make the most sense to me. I mean, we'll find out. If not, I guess it's just kind of trial and error, but it was probably that work in progress one. So you should be able to resume and there you go. Yeah, it had to be that work in progress one.
Let me go back to the
maybe
controller.
Yeah, it possibly was that. They ain't finished with it yet. See if you can play a match or simulate one or something. Shoot.
I'm gonna
have to get on the road in a second and get these get some work done.
Okay, I don't want to keep you too long. I know.
I just want to see this work.
You and me both. When you're playing a new one, do you have to always remap the controller for that game, even though you've done it for other games?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually, yeah, because you're using a different emulator that's not,
I got you.
attached to your other settings, I guess.
And you said you got the N64 controller, right?
I did.
Okay. That's a good thing, then.
Yeah.
I think I need to get one myself.
2 for $27.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap on Amazon. That's why I got mine for probably less, $10. I mean, they're cheap plastic ones, but they do the job.
I heard that there's an adapter for the original N64 controllers.
It could be possible that there may be like a USB end of it or something like that. Or
yeah. I'm gonna check on that and see.
I know I got an old N64 controller floating around in the back of my basement somewhere, but
listen, I got 2 right now and an extension wire. For real, I'm not.
I think I still have an extension too. Actually, that's funny.
Gotta have that, because those wires did not go far. They really did. And that goes to show, like, it was meant for you to be around your friends to play that game. Now these games, they just promote it to where you can be by yourself, play with someone online.
I never actually even owned an N64. I think what I have in the back is my brother's from when he used to live with me a long, long time ago. But yeah, I missed out on all of the good N64 games until they came to emulators, and that I was a PlayStation guy. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I was on it heavy. Honestly, I hated WrestleMania 2000 at first. I really did. But it didn't, like, when No Mercy came out, it just was like, oh man, this looks way better than WrestleMania 2000. So I was just like, I'm gonna mess with this one.
I still play. I still play No Mercy. I have a pretty good mod actually of that game too. It's called WWF First WCW Revenge. I think Green Archer made it. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. All the WCW people, arenas, and stuff like that.
Oh wow!
So this thing has a sick library here. You got the Raw, ECW, WCW, TNA, AAA, CMLL.
I think
the only thing that
I think there's more arenas.
The only thing that I haven't been able to figure out on this game, because when you toggle it, it just doesn't work, is to turn entrances on.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that separately.
I think that
so, like, you see Hogan here, and then behind him, you got Jimmy Hart and the Nasty Boys in that grouping. Here we got, is it Andre or Big Show? Can't tell. It looks like Andre and some of the other big guys.
It says it right there.
Yeah, I just realized that. I was going by the image. Not bad. We got Macho Man and whoever's going on behind him there.
Bam Bam, Kamala. I don't know who on the right.
Yep. Road Warriors and the Steiners.
Yeah, I think they kind of did it to where they start off with the golden era and then they just keep going from there.
Yeah. Looks good though.
Here.
Good looking game.
I don't even know if I guess I just picked 2. Oh, Iron Sheik against Nikolai Volkov. Here we go.
Where is the HUD at?
You probably got it turned off.
Yeah, I might not. I skipped right through the settings, and we're in the TNA wrestling, by the way.
It's gonna make him humble.
Gonna make him humble.
Yeah, man. It's running smooth though. That's the one thing you can't say about the Aki games, man. Those original developers, they knew what they were doing.
The one thing about all these mods that I wish is that you'd have the ability to change certain settings. Like the crowd right now is pretty hot, very loud, and to be able to control the volume levels on that and the music would be nice.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with it. But it looks good though.
It does. I'm putting my money on the Iron Sheik though.
I don't know. Depending
on what. Oh, look at this. See, there's a movie you don't see too often in video games.
No, not at all, really. For real. Like that's why I said you gotta play the virtual pro wrestling too. And I'm telling you, once you play like an MMA match, you're gonna get what I'm saying. Like it switches the game up. It makes it stand out. No, it's really good.
Since I picked up the WWF Challenge 64, I don't think I've put more than an hour into 2K.
Yeah, I've been playing that and Starfield.
How you like the Starfield? I see mixed reviews. I'm not an Xbox guy, but
so it's fun. I'm not on the main mission, but it's like even the side quest can be a full game. Like I joined the Navy, and literally they have hours of missions just being with the Navy, and then you become a diplomat for your planet, and then you got to go on diplomatic missions.
So definitely a game with a lot of longevity in it.
Yes, you can get lost in that game. That's something that I enjoy. I'm actually gonna play that tonight too. Probably for like an hour. Dog, I gotta do so much like design stuff. Like the thing about it is just trying to make time for everything. That's like, I got my 40+ hour a week job. Then I do the design work. I still gotta do my YouTube channel. Still gotta, chill with the lady, quality time with her. It's just like, man, it's trying to figure out.
We haven't even worked in a sleep schedule yet.
Right.
6 hours, if best.
Lucky you. I'm averaging 4 to 5. I just keep waking up. It's like, son of a bitch. It's been months.
Listen, even with my job, man, it's like I do security for banks and like residential homes for the complete Northeast. So it's just like when I'm on call, I don't sleep. So it's just like dispatching police or locking banks because the people who work at banks forget to lock the bank. How do you do that? I don't know.
Which bank? Which one's not locked tonight?
You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a wild field to be in, but they pay well, so I deal with it.
That's all that matters.
Yep, that's it. For real.
By the way, that's going to make the shortcut. Well, dude, I know you got a lot going on, and I appreciate your time as always.
Thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Anytime. You're always a welcome guest on this channel. You're a wealth of information when it comes to this world.
Listen, I had to jump in. Listen, the computer I'm on right now, I never built a computer before in my life. I built this in 2020 when I literally was stuck in the house for a year. And I was just like, what am I going to do? Build a PC. All right, well, I don't know how. So I watched one YouTube video. It took me 4 hours. And after that, I was just like, if I could do this and do it correctly, then all it takes is for me to just take my time. And that's how I learned like to really mess with software, downloading stuff and putting it all together. You stumble your way through till it works. And then you figured it out,
Yep.
I wish I would have never stopped. Back
people
in the 80s, I was writing programs and shit, but
people don't stop learning because they're scared. They just scared to fail. That's all. And you got to be able to just accept stumbling through. That's it. Just accept
just stuff that back then interested me more. Like writing programs, I was big into in the 80s. I loved it. But then I found girls, I guess, and all of a sudden that didn't matter so much because I was an idiot.
Listen, I'm getting up there in age too. It was just my birthday on the 10th, so it's like
happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Thank you. I'm almost 40, so it's just like
you're still young.
I was say you're a baby in this group.
Listen,
we're looking at social security options around here.
You're 2 old farts over here. We're looking at 40. We'll take that.
Do I want to take social a couple of years early and lose the money, or do I want to wait it out when I might be dead? I mean, when you get to a certain age, you don't make long-term plans. Like me, for example, I don't buy green bananas anymore.
Wow.
Yo, I gotta get out of here.
That's a good one, man.
That was a good one. Oh my goodness.
Dre, pleasure meeting you and talking to you, man. I appreciate all your work through the years, man.
Thank you. Pleasure meeting you too, man. It's a good talk. We definitely got to do this again.
And now we also know that Magnum TA is going to be in the wrestling code, so I'm excited about that.
What?
Damn, I thought I could trip you.
Don't that. No, that's another thing. I always am like one of the last people to figure out, but I'm the first one to have to do the attires. And it's just like, why do I not notice? Like with Adam Bomb, I was like, oh, okay, well, guess we got Adam Bomb. Like,
with some of the game names that the Ultra Pro's been getting, which has really surprised me in some of them, it's like, wow.
Listen, it's kind of like, and I said this before in a video, where it's just like we're basically kind of sharing rosters.
They're two different games.
I know,
that's fine.
But it's like that's kind of what's going on a little bit.
And it's good for the wrestlers because they're getting the double paycheck, and these are guys that haven't been in the business in a while, and I'm sure not all of them did well after wrestling, so whatever money they can get back is good. I'm still trying to figure out the copyright side of things. It's like they've got Demolition now announced. That's not Santino Marella where the WWE just, oops, we forgot to renew the copyrights to the name. They gotta own Demolition, WWE.
But when are they using it though? Like,
it doesn't matter. They ain't gonna let anyone else use it.
I mean, if it's not,
I don't think they're under like a Legends contract, so they don't have to exclusively be, they're not in their Hall of Fame. They're not under a Legends contract, so they're fair game, I guess. That's how it works.
Yeah, but
I would imagine
the wrestlers are, yes, but Axe and Smash and Demolition.
The name you're saying?
Yeah, intellectual property. I have to believe Santino Marella somehow I guess they just didn't give a shit and they didn't stay up on his. It slipped. He took it himself, and now he's over an Impact, and he's Santino Marella. But he can get away with it because he claimed it himself because they didn't.
That's 1 in a million. They'll never make that mistake again.
Well, I honestly don't think they gave a shit. It's like, Santino, okay, have fun. What are you gonna do? You ain't gonna hurt us in the ratings,
right?
He can't wrestle anymore, so you're not going to do that.
That's true. That is true.
Or maybe they just appreciated him enough to say, if you can make a few bucks off it, do it. But Demolition and the WWF didn't part on great ways. That's why they're not in the Hall of Fame.
I was single digits back then, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, they got involved in the whole steroid scandal.
Oh.
And not on behalf of Vince.
Somebody's out there telling.
they were apparently friendly with the prosecution, so that didn't go well.
They had a chatty patty. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of the show. I'm about to draw and try not to get carpal tunnel.
There you go, man. Thanks for being here once again. Ladies and gentlemen, go check him out if you haven't already. You're crazy if you haven't. That's Dre41. He's got some amazing stuff up on the community creation as well. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. Talk to y'all later.
All right, Dre.
Later, man. Take care, buddy.
Adios.
Adios. Always a pleasure to have him on, man. He's a good guy. Really good guy. And he does so much work for the community.
Yeah, no, he's been doing it forever too, man. Like I said, I mean, I have first time I've actually spoken to him, but we've gone through messages and chats and things like that where we've communicated. But his work is just still going. He's been doing this for a long time. I wish him luck with the game he's working on.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, we've got 2 games in particular now that I am looking forward to. Wrestling Code, of course, and Ultra Pro. And I want both of them to, like I wanted AEW to, and they failed. And I'm just like, please don't let these guys drop the ball.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're going to. I think with AEW, you could say it was also designed by wrestling fans, and Kenny and the Young Bucks are wrestling game fans. But they clearly should have listened to the folks at Ukes, like mentioning that Ukes was part of it. Yeah, but then there was a massive blow up at the end. Part of the reason why it didn't get done on time.
And they just pushed it out, and they knew, they just
they were
pushed it out.
saying to Kenny, but yeah, apparently Kenny don't want to hear nothing. Well, you might be listening now, and this is on Tony Khan. At the end of the day, he just doesn't have any control of anything. The inmates are running the asylum
for sure.
So, but again, the first impression of the game, I was kind of okay with it. We knew that it's a brand new release. Give it time. They're going to keep patching it, they said, which I could tell you right now, that's out the door. There's no one playing the game anymore. They're not going to put any more wrestlers in the game.
The gameplay is, I enjoy it. It's fun. It reminds me of a combination of No Mercy meets kind of Here Comes the Pain.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's the only problem is, you're just playing exhibition matches, and I'll play a couple and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm done with this, where you didn't have the season mode. Like Here Comes the Pain was amazing. And if they can add on, which I don't think they will, I think they've just given up. They're going to put out their little season pass of their wrestlers and just, be done with it.
Was there a season pass? They just gave us Keith Lee and Bunny. I think that's all that was promised.
No, there's they actually just announced, I think one yesterday or today, actually. Who's the guy with the other face paint? Dahausen, I want to say his name is.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did hear something about Dan.
Yeah, him, and there's Hook, I want to say. Does that sound right?
That does sound familiar. Yeah, Taz's son.
Yeah. So both of them are coming out on the 28th of this month, actually.
Oh, okay. But that's probably it then.
I think they had 2 more packs, I want to say, that they had announced at the beginning. But you're doing 2 wrestlers per whenever you're putting them out. I mean, people want more creation parts. They want more game modes, is what everybody's begging for to keep that game alive. And
yeah, maybe a steel cage match,
Yeah, a steel cage match would be nice, yeah.
In a wrestling game, it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But no, I mean, they gave us basically the Fortnite version of wrestling in Stampede, which, I played it once and I said, you got to be shitting me. This is,
I played it like 3 times. I thought I was going to actually like it more only because it was so unique. And then I was like, nah, because everybody was just running away from each other until the circle would shrink down. And then it's just a Wylie and nah.
Yeah, the hit detection in there is horrible too.
Yes.
I played it once and I said, yep, this is not for me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did too. I haven't looked. I meant to look up the numbers on that before I went on with the stream, and I forgot to. But I could tell you a couple of weeks ago, it was really low. I mean, out of a 30-man lobby, it was well over 15 to 20 bots.
They basically, I've seen stats come out for that more people were still playing 2K19 on PC than the AEW game. So, it's pretty dead, I guess.
That's a kick in the dick.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it for sure.
Well, I thank you once again. You got me another game up and running. That just leaves one. I don't even remember which one it is now. But maybe we'll do that on a separate stream. And
do you ever get the Legends one working for you again?
Legends? It was working. What do you mean?
Remember we couldn't. You were having issues with Andre the Giant and Mr. Perfect.
Oh, I didn't get a chance. Actually, well, all right, you're here. We'll do it. I didn't get a chance to try that little fix you mentioned. Something about a black screen.
It was basically the cheats again. I just went back in and selected all of those again, and it might actually work with your additional Marty Jannetty, I think, in the rockers that you downloaded, and that's why you can't get any else.
Oh, well, let's find out if that happens. If I can get this stupid thing to cooperate over here. Here we go. Bang, zoom. All right, so we're looking at WWF Legends Challenge.
Yep.
Nothing's happening.
this one, you didn't update your version yet, so you still have to open up the Project 64 emulator.
This one here? Oh, yes.
Yep.
And then normally I would go to the music tool to play it. But in this case, you're saying go down to this one?
Yeah, I mean, either way, it doesn't matter if you want to go through. But yeah, we don't need the music right now, so we'll just do it this way.
What's the difference between this Project 64 and the one that's got the gibberish after it?
I think one's a 16 and one's a 32, or it's either 32 or 64-bit version of it. Honestly, I think either one would work the same, but I've always just used the bottom one.
Okay, so we're going to open that.
And then start this up, and then we're going to click on System and go to your cheats again. And see how it's gray again? So click that the cheats box, even though, and you see how it went dark now? And you can just,
so it's hard to tell, but okay.
And you can X that out then. And once I did that, it was everything, no crashing with Perfect or Andre. This burst attire he comes out with, I want to say Heenan actually with the first attire. And yeah.
Let's see what happens. There we go.
Yep.
Now you think that might have the Marty Jannetty thing fixed as well?
Yeah, I would. Let's take a look and see if you have some alternates, maybe. Because we did drop them in there. But without the cheats being selected, it probably just doesn't see the updates on it. Possibly.
Let's find out.
Yeah, at least that stops the crashing for now, though.
I gotta do a Kamala match and see this paint wearing off. It's like, son of a bitch. All right, so there's Jannetty. No, still not giving me any.
Yeah, nothing still. Yeah.
Nope. Sean. And I actually still have those files right up here. Rockers update, yeah. Do we want to try that again?
I mean, we can. I would just drop and drag the whole damn folder, honestly, with the names.
That's something I don't think we did that, did we?
Except for the Macho Man one, just because that one.
That was squirrely, that one.
Yeah, just because it says updates, and it's definitely much different than. So I'm just gonna open up. Yep. Look at you go.
Like I said, repetition is a beautiful teacher.
Project 64 should be in your plugin, graphics, higher textures. And just drop and drag those files in there. I mean, it's the two of them, and
okay.
All right.
Now let's see what happens. Oh, is it currently running? My bad. No, it's not. Is it? No.
I don't think it was.
Let's try it again. There it goes. So, for those of you who don't understand what's going on right now, I went and joined their Patreon for this game, and with that, you get early releases and alternate costumes. So, I've got the Jannetty and Shawn Michaels rocker costumes. I just can't get them to cooperate right now. There's also a Macho Man one, but the file is so much different. Although, if this works, I would think just doing the same thing would work for him.
Well, that one says Macho Man updates, so it kind of would kind of create its own folder, because it's not named the same as the other one. So I just don't want to mess up your Savage, and then you're stuck with either nothing or one attire like these.
Savage with like 30 heads. Nah, still not happening.
Mm.
No. Well.
Are you getting alts for anybody?
What's that?
Are you getting alts for anybody right now?
Oh yeah, everybody. Like, yeah, Jake's fine.
Okay.
I mean, the only other thing I can think of we could do is put those folders in the actual Marty Jannetty folder.
I mean, once you drop in, you drag them in there. I mean, because they're named the same as the other one, they basically go in there. So if you go to, let's go to your textures folder. That's empty. All right, so you ain't even using that one. So, yeah, go back to that plugin, that GFX plugin folder. Take a look one more time. Just make sure that they're actually in there. I mean, I know at least one of them's got to be in there. And let's go to Marty Jannetty. So you got two different files here.
Yeah.
Of,
so I'm
of
thinking
Marty Jannetty.
Let me see which one.
Oh, so those are dated. You could look at the date on it. Right. That's dated 9/16. So the top one is the newer one. So basically open that one there.
Yes.
And let's just copy these two folders.
Well, let me just see one thing. What's in them? Black, purple,
I mean, it's probably just textures and pictures inside of each one of them. Yeah. So they're definitely in there. So let's copy these two folders here.
These two?
Yep, just copy them. And then back up and go into that second Marty Jannetty folder. And go into that Marty Jannetty there and paste them in here. It might ask to overwrite. And just hit replace the files.
I have a feeling that might work.
All right, so they're definitely in there. I mean, there's no doubt. So let's see if that works.
Third time's the charm.
That's what they say.
Oh, they say a lot of things. Still isn't going to get Danny Masterson out any earlier.
No.
Did I skip past him? No. Drum roll. No, nothing.
Strange, man.
Like, what else could you possibly do?
I mean, there's nothing else. It's just not working.
What was that word you used? Persistence. That's right.
Yeah.
Plug in.
I mean, it's definitely the one with the numbers on it because every other one has them. Yeah, they're all in there too. I mean,
one of the other things you can get if you join the Patreon is alternate headshots, for the lack of a better term right now. Arena names.
I mean, all the textures, and I'm sure if you open up anybody else, you'll see the same thing with the multiple gears in there and just the different names of everything is in there.
That's what he currently comes out to. And I would imagine if we were to take these and put it in here, it would completely screw things up.
Yeah, probably, because I mean, he should basically, right.
So then the question becomes, what part of the game is not registering that there are 4 other options?
The only thing I could think of would be, I mean, we re-clicked the cheats too, because the cheats make, but if it's working for everybody else, I mean, it's got to be activated, I don't know. I would definitely throw that one up in their forums there and see if anybody else has a issue with that one, because kind of puzzled on this one, to be honest, with the alternate attires. It's usually just a drop and drag and then your textures are there, but it's probably something simple. Either the config file again needs to be redone, or the cheats, but I'll do some digging too, see what I can find for you.
Yeah, you are the man.
Because eventually I would like to, get some of that stuff too for the game. So I'll see what I can come up with if there's anything out there.
Okay. That sounds like a plan, man. If anyone's going to figure it out, it's you, man. You are the bloodhound when it comes to getting this stuff done.
I appreciate it. I try.
I appreciate it too, because I'm already out. All right. Well, that's going to wrap this one up. I thank you for joining us. Of course, once again, to our friend Dre41. If you haven't already, go check out his YouTube channel and then go check him out on Community Creations. He does amazing work. Last year's Matt Cardona was my absolute favorite. He did him with the Pabst Blue Ribbon attire, and it was flawless. I look forward to seeing what he releases. It's all good. All good. What about you? You got like a YouTube thing going on at all, or
me?
No. Me? Hell no.
Maybe if I was 20 years younger, yeah, I would have thought about it, but no, not at this point in my life. Probably, I can't do the voices and the things.
Well, you don't need to anymore. Apparently, I got these friggin'
yeah. I mean,
I
guess there's an AI that I can just use, but I don't want to steal your glory, man. I like watching what you do, man, and I appreciate you putting out those videos. They give me a lot of enjoyment when I'm bored and trying to fall asleep, and I just sit there, and it's kind of like I got Vince McMahon and everybody in my ear, like old times there.
Yeah, when I was having trouble falling asleep a while back, listening to Jim Cornette's podcast,
Actually, it's funny. 2 nights ago, I fell asleep and I woke up and that was on.
Yeah. it just, there's something about his voice, partly maybe the formality. I always think back, I tell my girlfriend, when I was a kid, like 7, 8 years old, the best sleep in the world was on the living room floor at my grandmother's house, because all the family was in the kitchen and you had like 10 or 12 of the people that you felt most comfortable with in the whole world, and you heard all those voices, and that noise was relaxing.
Right.
And it's
we sleep with
like
a fan on, so my wife likes the fan being on. I keep an earpiece in my ear and I listen to mostly old wrestling stuff and Gorilla Monsoon and that, and just till I get tired enough, fall asleep, and then it works for me. So
same here. Like I said, Cornette is my go-to if I have to fall asleep, and it's not because he's boring me. It's just there's something soothing. And I don't say that too often about the voice of a Democrat. I don't. Well, thanks again for being here. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Hopefully we got to everyone's questions. Let me take one last look here. DHW snuck in the back door. Welcome aboard. Lou, what you asking here? Is this for WWF Legends? Is what? Are we talking about the Genetti stuff? That is, if that's what you're talking about. Dre got a happy birthday shout out from the clown. I'll have to send that his way. As everyone, and we're doing good. Yeah, Primetime was also mentioning Hook as being DLC. I just don't know. It's like for Hook, I wouldn't even care. Like if it dropped tomorrow, it's like I just don't give a shit. I still can't figure out how this guy is in any way, shape, or form getting a pop.
I don't know much about AEW. I do from playing the game a little bit, but I can't tell you. I've never really sat down and watched a 3-hour, 2-hour show of AEW in full. So
it used to be watchable. It's not anymore to me, anyway. Yusuf, welcome aboard, man. So that's going to wrap us up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. Thank you for being here. Hopefully some of this information will help you guys if you decide to start downloading some of these games. Again, if you're not having any luck with them and you still want to get at least one up there, I'm telling you right now, Aki Evolution, it is smooth sailing, okay? You can't go wrong with that one. There's a tutorial video out there. I think I might have linked it in the last video we did on how to install stuff. If not, let me know and I can find it for you real quick and send it over. And it was simple. Really, they should all be like that.
And if you guys are kind of looking for an all-in-one, you don't want to get too invested. Showdown 64 is a good one because it kind of covers all eras, and we actually did virtually the install process on this video here. So it'll give you from golden era all the way up till pretty currently. So,
yep. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you right back here. We got 2 premieres dropping, one tomorrow afternoon for Wrestling Challenge, one as usual Saturday afternoon, 12 noon. So you get your Superstars of Wrestling in. And then on the 2nd of October, we're at Madison Square Garden. It's going to be fun. Join us for all of that. And there's no AI here. It's all legit.
Very nice.
Some people just haven't watched enough Terminator movies to understand what this really means. All right. Thanks again, Jay. Take care. Everybody else, good night. And we'll see you at ringside.
Have a good night, guys.
Would have been great if I'd hit the right button right there, but I didn't. I hate when that happens. It's fun. Smooth like the other side of the pillow. Here we go. Let's try that again.